Hi, this is Stuart, and you're watching Half Dice Will Travel, and we're playing Dungeons and Dragons something Waterdeep. One take, ladies and gentlemen, I'm out.
Welcome to Half Dice Will Travel. Again, in Waterdeep. Now with new arts, which I will pause for a moment in this scene for like 5 seconds, which will be edited into showing you all the arts.
Ba, ba,
Here.
ba, ba.
Here.
Ba, 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 ba.
Here.
Ba, 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 ba,
Here.
ba,
Here.
ba.
Yeah.
Here.
Ba, 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 ba.
Yeah.
Might be here. Or here. I don't know where my... Here. Could be here.
Yeah.
Or here.
Yeah.
Or here.
Yeah.
Or here.
Yeah.
Could be anywhere.
I'm just trying to figure what the fuck Stuart's doing.
I thought he was providing
doing
the
this-
background music.
Yeah, I was the background music, but it took too long.
There's a lot of artwork. Not only is there personal artwork, there's a team photo here.
It's not gonna fit there.
Or here.
Yeah, down there. No, in all seriousness, no, there is new amazing artwork that has been provided by John from Lawful Mediocre. Check him out on Etsy. His stuff is amazing, and he's awesome.
Yay!
Yeah.
Applause for John.
So thanks, John.
Which
Give him all your money.
I guess we'll put a link somewhere to his.
In the description down below.
There you
Also,
go.
hit our like button and subscribe if you want to see more.
And we'll hold a poll vote whether or not how fast we get to kill off Hjalder. So last time we took off, you guys pretty much went through Trollskull Manor and haphazardly decided to maybe take it as a reward from Volo. All going your own way before the actual meeting for the deed. You guys all went your own paths. So let's go bye to bye. Hjalder, you went out to search for guild contacts and try and inventorize whether or not all the factions would agree to actually helping you guys build up the tavern again.
Yeah, setting up them contracts, loving that bureaucracy stuff.
So the fact that Trollskull Manor might reopen again is something that brings quite a buzz amongst most of the guilds. And you immediately know that by setting off this small inkling of information into the first guilds, like the Carpenters Guilds, etc., that you might be expecting a lot of visitors at Trollskull Manor to see whether or not they can do business with you through their faction. All the guilds needed for the basic renovation of the manor available to you for hire. You reckon it will take roughly 12 to 14 days to complete the entire renovation. And it will cost you roughly about 250 gold pieces paid up front to the guild, partly for permissions and partly for materials and crafting hours.
And then on top of the 1,000 gold for the renovation itself.
Yes.
Well.
Let's see. Eliana. You can make me a performance check for a second.
Wow, that's an 8.
Wow. You're
Awesome.
just amazing.
I am so good.
You are as good of a bard as you were a druid.
During the course of a couple of hours entertaining people in the street, you are lucky that you were in the richer part of Waterdeep, and you've managed to accumulate a number of 3 gold pieces.
Better than nothing?
Exactly. Grumac, you were heading out to go and buy cleaning supplies.
Yes.
After walking around the streets of Waterdeep and Trollskull Alley, you end up at the Honest Plum. a curiosity shop, which for some reason also holds a large variety of cleaning supplies. And you manage to pick up pretty much everything you need to get Trollskull Manor into a semi-clean state.
Yes, Grumak's a master at sweeping the leg.
Phoenix, you went down to the dock ward to see whether or not you can pick up some information about how to run a tavern in general. And you managed to adopt 2 mute children into your bedroom, which may or may not die a horrible death later down the game. Nobody knows. I mean, so could you. I'm just saying, putting it out there. Might be a possibility. Don't get too attached.
Jesus.
That's some foreshadowing right there.
I mean, they could be fine. They could be the new ruler of Waterdeep. Who knows what the future
But probably not, though. But who
Probably not.
knows?
Probably not, though, but I mean. So, Nim, you went to the Yawning Portal to see whether or not there would be some adventuring to pick up. And as you approach the Yawning Portal, a white cat jumps out in front of you. What do you do?
A white cat?
Yes.
I pay no heed to the cat. I
Okay.
continue walking.
It starts to walk alongside you, almost taking you in or sizing you up.
I'm gonna just try to.
Oh no, it's a
not look at it.
stormtrooper! Sorry?
I'm just gonna try not to look at it.
Okay.
I'm gonna avoid eye contact.
All of a sudden, down at your ankle, you hear this meowing kind of. Interested in joining the Emerald Angle? Come meet us at Falconmere in the South Wall. And as soon as it's done talking, it dashes off into a side street.
You cut out like intermittently through most of what you said there.
Oh, really?
As the cat, which was hilarious, but I didn't catch most of it.
Okay, I'll try and redo it in the voice. Usually,
Right.
doing 2 takes fucks me up. Okay, so all of a sudden you hear a voice down at your ankles, a meowing voice. Interested in joining the Come meet us at Falconmere in the South Wall. And then it dashes off into a side street.
Okay, that was weird. I'm gonna keep walking to
Okay.
the place.
To the place. So as you enter the Yawning Portals, pretty early in the day, it's not there are not a lot of people, not a lot of patrons right now. Duncan is behind the bar again. Someone you probably know of but haven't seen yet. Have you been to the Yawning Portal before? Once, I guess, to get to Volo. So, besides Duncan and a couple of other patrons, there are not a lot of people, but there is some kind of bulletin board or quest board, as you may. There are not a lot of pins to it, but there is one that catches your eye. It's from the Forced Grey faction. There is a request to find a monk named Lamb on the side of Mount Waterdeep, and there is a question that needs to be asked to him if he has heard anything about any of the threats to the city. But there's also a warning: try not to annoy him or overstay your welcome. The reward, however, for the information provided by Lamb to the faction Force Grey is 50 gold pieces. So it might be worth your while.
All right, I'm gonna take the little slip, kind of take that with me.
Okay. So where do you want to go from there?
And then I'll go back to the manor.
Okay. So assuming everybody ends up back at Trollskull Manor, you all meet again. What do you guys want to do?
Well, first of all, for your information, Louder, we are renaming it from
Okay.
Trollskull Manor
Two?
to Downtime Abbey.
Downtime Abbey.
Oh, I forgot
Yes.
about that.
Yes.
I mean, are we renaming the whole manor, or is it like Downtime Abbey at Trollskull Manor? Like,
You mean the name of the bar will be Downtime Abbey?
I guess we could do that.
Yeah, because the manor's already Yalder's House of Awesome Gold for Yalder.
No, see, that's what I was trying to avoid.
Too late, it's been done.
I don't really care about the name, though I have made quite a dent in the cleaning project.
it looks very good, Grumac. Thank you.
Very nice, Grumac. Well done.
Wait, did we ever go to Volo to get the thing signed over?
I think
don't
that
think
was
they
later today. We were to meet with one of the magisters.
Yes, Claim Silmahelv.
So how much time is there left before we go there?
Not much. You're roughly an hour out.
Also, I think Liv has been picking on me. Every time I turn to grab the broom, it's on the other side of the room.
You bought like 1,000 brooms. There shouldn't be a problem with finding a broom.
That could be a good sign. He might just be trying to make friends with us. Oh, with you.
It's possible. Should we go and see if we can meet this magister person?
Seems to be about that time.
Sounds good.
Did you find any missions for us when you're at the Yawning Portal, Nim?
Oh yeah, I pull out the little slip thing and I hand it to Grumac.
I hope this is written in Orc or Common. Otherwise, I have no idea what it says.
I assume it's in common.
A monk, they say. Very interesting. Do y'all
Yeah.
fancy a trip to go meet a monk?
I think once we've done our song and dance number with the Magister, then that sounds like the next best thing to do.
Is it in the area? Does anyone know where Hyson Castle is? Is that near where we need to go for this monk?
I assume somebody. I was gonna say maybe Phoenix or Yalder might know. I don't.
Yeah. I guess I would know.
I'm
Louder!
not from here.
I was gonna say I've lived here my whole life, so probably.
Mount Waterdeep in general?
Yeah, like is the where we have to go for the Magister? Is that near the mountain that we have to go to for the monk?
No. No. I'll put you guys on the city map for a second. So Mount Waterdeep is on the far left side. There you go. And
Oh, it's right outside the gate. There you go.
it's within the walls of Waterdeep.
Yeah, I know where the mountain is. Where is the Magister?
I was trying to find that. Completely. There you go.
Wait, so you're telling me they're paying adventurers 50 gold to walk up the mountain that's inside the city walls.
Sounds like a good deal.
Force Grey sounds like a lazy bunch, don't they?
Let's not complain if it leads us to 50 gold.
So
This is true.
the courthouse is right here. It doesn't have a thingamajiggy on it. Can steal one somewhere.
Okay, no, that's fine. It's kind of on the way then. Right, so we could swing by the courthouse and then continue on to the mountain.
Sounds good to me.
We'll follow you, Master Dwarf, since you seem to know the way.
Bring us to the courthouse.
Okay. The courthouse is a pretty intimidating building. There are a lot of people being dragged in there at this point by the city guard to stand trial for various committees through the entire city. The mood around it is almost depressing and quite scary. There are not a lot of people there that go there for their own enjoyment. They are there because they get slapped by the law. At some point, you even overhear a couple of sentences. Some are put to forced labor. Some have 10 to 20 years in jail. There's even one orc that gets exiled. So being there is not a fun place to be. However, meandering through the people that are waiting there to accept their judgment, you end up in the back of the courthouse. It is a dark corridor, dimly lit by one torch. And at the end of the hallway, there's one small wooden door that has a magistrate a plate on the door. As you go there, you see that there is a large iron ring hanging from the door, but before you can even reach out to grab it or make any kind of noise, the door swings open. And in front of you, you see the magistrate that you have your appointment with. She looks at an hourglass on her table, looks back up at you and says, "Right on time, I like that. Please take a seat."
Thank you.
Thank you so much for seeing us.
Can I please have the deed?
Who has the deed?
Yeah, who has the deed?
I thought you had it, Master Dwarf.
I thought Hjalder had it too.
I'm very sorry. I present her the deed.
Completely uninterested in the fact that you guys are not even for such a high value property in Waterdeep. She takes it, looks over it, weighs it for judgment, and after a couple of seconds in which you think something has happened to her brain, she looks directly at you, puts it back down on the table, grabs a quiver, puts it down next to it, leans back. "Please, sign."
Yalder signs immediately. And just a tad too big, so other people have to squeeze their name in it.
As you write down your signature on the paper, your name vanishes and appears in perfect writing at the end of the line where it says owner.
Well, that takes the fun out of it, but there you go.
Phoenix will sign next, I guess.
So as you are writing your name, flame up, and it burns your name into the owner list.
Sorry, there's been a lot of fire lately around me.
Step away from the deed.
Yeah, I grab the quill from Phoenix and sign it.
Okay. So as you start signing it, all the letters go into a small seedling, and it pops open like a flower. And the spores of the flower form your name, the owner part on the deed.
Oh, that's a neat trick.
I think this is some kind of dark magic in him.
Yeah, this is very strange. Mine just well. Did you guys pay extra for fancy ink or something?
I will sign next. Thank you.
Okay. So as you start signing at the back of the paper, and all of a sudden your name appears on the owner list.
Interesting. You try next.
Nim just scratches out his 3 letters.
Okay.
Sets the pen down.
As you put your quill to, did I say quiver before? I meant quill. As you put your quill to paper, I mean Dutch language barrier. Bear with me. As you put your quill to paper, all of a sudden the feather that makes up the quill starts to melt away into a blackish, sporish cloud. Through the center of the quill, the spores pretty much rotate around the names of the owners, and in the end, they slowly form your name, while being sucked into the letters right there.
There's your black magic.
Just because it's black in color doesn't mean it's black magic.
Well, it's black in color and it's also magic. I think it's pretty on the nose here.
Black magic.
The dwarf is very literal, I think.
That's not how it works, you guys.
Well,
That was
it's
interesting,
cool magic.
Magister, but why did it do different things for all of us?
Who knows? Congratulations. Now please pay your required fee.
I put my 5 G's on the table.
Same.
5 GP.
So totaling a sum of 25 pieces, you can now call yourself the new proud owners of formerly known Trollskull Manor, now redubbed into Downtime Abbey at Trollskull Manor and Yalder's amazing money town.
Yeah, that's just in the side note somewhere.
Okay.
There's a lot of Yalder earning money names in there.
Sure. Congratulations. You now have a piece of property in Waterdeep.
Very nice.
We'd have to
Right.
hold down the button. Moo!
Well, that's a big step. Now we just need money to fix it up.
We will get this money by adventuring.
Oh, I hope so. I only made 3 gold pieces performing earlier, so.
Perhaps if you did some more of your comedic act you did in the club when we were escaping last time.
Yeah, I would pay to see that one again.
It was
Eliana
very
just-
funny.
Eliana just stares at Grumek.
Are we still in the Magister's office, or have we gone outside?
Yes. No, you're still sending it.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much, Magister, and yeah, goodbye.
Yeah, sorry, didn't
Yeah,
mean to take up any more
Nim's
of your
already
time.
leaving.
Who's taking the deed this time? Who's gonna...
Wait, do we have to take the deed? I take the deed! I do the do.
Let it be noted, the dwarf holds the deed.
He did the deed. We could like frame it and hang it up in the manor.
Or we could
Deed is done.
put it in the floor under glass.
I'm gonna put it in my beard, and you're not gonna touch it.
That's how the original Guinness lease is in Dublin.
That's true.
I'm fine with the dwarf carrying it. Look how happy it makes him.
Yes, that's fine. Just keep an eye on it.
He is pretty jolly, isn't he? Look at that little face. Insert
Do
artwork.
either of you locals know how to get to the base of this mountain we are to climb?
I mean, we can
Probably just walk towards the mountain.
just head on over down the streets.
I say we make a line for it and get this job over quickly so we can get paid.
Would someone
Well,
read
did-
the job
did the-
description again?
Did the job description say what side of the mountain he's on?
Yes,
No.
I will hand the thing to you so you can read it now.
So it doesn't.
No.
Okay, so. Well, there's a road on the north side. It has some houses on it. We could follow it up the mountain. We could also try climbing it from the south. But I'm not sure where he lives because it doesn't say on the.
Could we possibly stop and maybe ask someone near the mountain if they're familiar with where the monk lives?
There's also a building at the top of the mountain. Perhaps we could start there.
I think it's like a more of a viewing area.
Well, maybe we could view where the monk is.
You think? Let me check.
Is there a bank nearby?
Yeah, sure.
Where I could
So-
perchance store the deed?
You could definitely store.
That's what normal people do, right?
at
They
the bank.
they take important papers to a bank or a vault of some sort.
I mean, we just have a drawer of important papers, so I don't know if that's.
Oh, never mind. Yeah, well, we dwarves like to put stuff in a vault.
I mean, you could also
rocks and
install a vault in
family member.
the manor.
Could you not craft a vault, Master Dwarf?
Oh, I could pretty easily craft a vault, I think. Yeah, that's a great idea. I'm gonna do some research. Yoder's now just rubbing his beard. Follows the group. That's his research.
As we're walking through the town, heading towards the mountain, probably right around now in the conversation, Phoenix suddenly changes completely. She no longer has red skin or horns. She turns into like a human woman who's like short and kind of plump, and she's wearing like just regular like townsfolk garb, probably like lower middle class.
Well, there goes the artwork.
And
Witchcraft!
she would not have noticed that it happened, though. So you guys might, but she does not. So she just changes as she's walking.
Eliana would do a double take and
What?
Phoenix, you're not red.
What? crap. Not again.
I wasn't gonna
Is
say
this something that
anything.
normally happens?
It's been happening lately. And then she switches back and she's herself again.
Well, that's interesting.
I poke her.
Why are you poking me?
Why are you turning into a normal person?
Maybe she has always been a normal person, and this is the fake her.
Well, no, I'm back now. I'm red again. See?
Well, is the red you the real you, or is the normal you the real you?
The red me. It's never the same person. Hang on. And she stands there really carefully, and she's going to study Grumac for a while, and then she's going to switch back, and she looks exactly like Grumac.
Grumac assumes a karate stance immediately.
Ah! I don't know monk stuff. And then she switches back again.
So that's a neat trick. How many times can you do that?
Yeah.
I seem to be able to do it as often as I want, and occasionally when I don't want. I haven't really figured it out yet. I've had a lot of changes happening lately. I haven't really been able to explain.
Can you also turn into animals and or objects?
No, that's me.
Not
Wait,
not
you
not
can turn
to my
into an
knowledge.
object?
Well, not an object. Unless I count as an object.
I can make illusory objects. Does that count?
I can punch things a lot.
I think he's the most useful one. Okay, so where's the mountain?
That wasn't my only skill.
Well, save some skills for a surprise later, Nim. They don't need to know everything yet.
I wasn't going to tell him what my other skills were. I just wanted him to know.
Okay. I also have skills. And I start walking towards the mountain.
Yes, she is very funny. Well, this isn't much of a mountain. Where I come from, they're very tall mountains.
This is just a glorified hill.
Well, let's not insult their mountain.
I think
No, it's a tiny mountain. It's more like a hill, exactly.
I think the name is intentionally ironic.
You couldn't even build a proper mine in it if you wanted to.
I think it's actually a typo. I think it was supposed to be Mound Waterdeep.
So the building on top of Mount Waterdeep is actually quite a known place to residents of Waterdeep. It is called the Peak Top Eyrie, and it houses the city's famed Griffin Cavalry. It's a sea-facing flank feature, 11 triple catapults armed with rock and flammable pot building, and it houses the entire cavalry that you see floating and guarding Waterdeep above you.
Holy cow. They're riding flying mounts.
I don't think you could pay me enough to get on one of those things.
I'd rather just fly myself.
That sounds fun. Whatever.
Do you suppose they're tasty?
Probably. They do kind of look like giant chickens. Chickens usually fairly delicious. Don't know that I would test it here, though.
Is this a place that you can just walk up to?
The Peak Top? No. No, the entire mountain is actually pretty difficult to climb.
Well,
Hmm.
here goes nothing, I guess.
Are there any paths up to the top?
No.
What was this person's name?
Clem.
Clam.
Hello?
Well, we
Clam.
could just walk up the
Um,
mountain. Yeah, I don't think that's the best way to do this.
So what do you guys want to do?
I didn't really think that would work. I just don't have a better alternative.
We
We
should
could
probably
start climbing it.
Right now, you guys are still in front of the court.
No, but wait, what?
We've
You
been
went to the
walking.
mountain.
We've been walking
Oh,
while
you
we were talking
guys
this
have
whole
been
time.
walking.
No, we
towards
started
it.
walking
Yeah.
towards the mountain, yeah.
We could ask some guards closer to that part whether or not they've seen or know the location of this monk.
Right, when we get to the base of the mountain, we can maybe ask around for the easiest route upwards?
It would be great to talk to one of these griffin riders. Perhaps they've flown over him.
Right, so you, Water Davian residents, do you know how to get up to the Eyrie?
The only thing you know is that there's probably some underground system originating in Castle Waterdeep that has access to Eyrie.
Perhaps we should go back to the yawning portal and inquire about who posted this notice.
Sounds like a lot of walking.
Well,
I'm
I
used
think it
to a
says
lot
something
of walking.
about the Grey Force.
Yeah, what's the Grey Force?
I don't know.
I
It's just what it
believe
says on the paper.
Guild.
I'm sorry, what was that, Grumac?
I think they're an adventuring guild.
Do any of you guys actually know, or do you want fill you in on what it is?
I mean, I don't know if
Yeah.
Shelder or I might know, but I definitely don't know. Like, I don't, like, me as a person.
Okay, so small insight then into Forest Grey, otherwise also known as the Grey Hand. It was an elite group of adventurers who work, well, they still are. They work directly for the government of Waterdeep. Their job is to pretty much deal with any threats in the city that either the guard or the watch cannot handle without risking significant loss of life. So it's pretty much like an elite team of former adventurers. They're called upon pretty much only as a last resort, um, since the Lords of Waterdeep tend not to be too fond of their methods all the time. There's one key figure in the entire hierarchy of Forest Grades called the Blackstaff. And he lives in Blackstaff Tower, which is a building in Waterdeep, a known building. But not a very frequented building. Not a lot of people go in or out there as much. Members are not expected to patrol any city walls or regions for threats. They're pretty much free to follow their own goals, except for when the city needs them the most. They need to be ready to call to action. So you might get the sense that this mission, albeit just an information gathering mission, since it's coming from, might hold a significant risk to it as well. And it's probably something that the regular guards won't even be informed of.
Are there any other known locations where you can talk to the Grey Hands, or is it just Blackstaff Tower? Is that the only place that is known?
Well, most of the Force Grey members don't, like, it's not like the Emerald Enclave or the Order of the Gauntlet. Like, they don't have badges. They don't walk around portraying the faction that they belong to. It's actually quite hard to pick a Force Grey member out of a group of people. Usually, the Force Grey members that do portray themselves wear gray cloaks, but then again, so might any patron in Waterdeep.
Do you guys know where this tower is? Perhaps we can stop in and inquire more questions.
Probably. We lost a person. That makes
Can
me think.
anybody roll me a D30 in the meantime?
A D30?
Yes.
I do it. D30. No, I guess not. Nim did it.
I hope we were
3.
aiming
Yeah, it's
low.
a 3.
It's a 3. Okay.
And the Tarrasque attacks the city.
Oh
All of a
god,
sudden
not
you see
again.
that fly over.
Dude, no, we had to fight a Tarrasque in Tyranny before you joined us, Nicole, and it was like
It
almost
was
the worst
amazing.
thing ever. Like, Roscoe was like not giving up. We had to like physically pull him and be like, "You're gonna die, run away."
I was fine. The Tarrasque bit me 4 times and I was still breathing. I was fine.
I can so see this whole thing panning out.
Yeah, you
Alright.
should have been there, audience.
That was
So-
awesome.
Are we heading to said tower, or what's going on?
I don't know. Now you guys were moving towards the mountain.
Okay, we can either climb the mountain and hope we find him, or go to the Blackstaff Tower and hope to find someone that can tell us where the looks, sort of. But
I mean, I don't.
Or we could go to the castle and try to find one of the Griffin Riders to see if they've seen anything.
maybe we could just send a birdie to the tower. A flappy flap, as it's been called before.
What's a
A flappy flap? What the hell is that? You mean a messenger bird?
Yeah, that's the lame word for it. Yeah, a messenger bird.
Flappy flap.
No, I don't think
that's
it's called a
interesting.
messenger bird as well. What the?
It's a paper
what the
bird.
fuck?
It's a paper bird.
Yeah, there you go.
Paper
Paper
bird.
bird.
Yeah, that's
Thanks,
it.
Phoenix. That took you long enough.
I mean, I was enjoying that exchange, Eliana. A former friend of ours used to call them flappy flaps. We thought it was stupid, but now it's pretty endearing. Now that
No, it's
I
pretty
see.
stupid.
Oh,
She's-
it's still stupid, but at least it's well.
It's
never mind.
endearing now that she's dead.
oh, she's dead now, yeah.
Oh,
I
what a
mean, you guys
pleasant
buried her
pleasant
like
story.
yesterday.
Well, is this tower on the way to Waterdeep Castle? Can we knock out 2 birds with 1 stone? And not paper ones, I mean.
Yeah, I don't think we need to knock out any birds. I thought we were
It'd be
trying
pretty
to get up
easy to
there.
knock out paper birds with a stone, I would think.
You know
Looking
you
at
can
Grumek, I
reuse
think he can
stones.
knock out any bird with a stone.
Once you've thrown a stone at something, you can just pick up the stone and use it again. So 2 birds with 1 stone isn't really that impressive. You could kill probably 1,000,000 birds with 1 stone. You just have to keep the stone.
I
I would-
don't think
I would
you
rather
have
we
time
didn't-
to find 1,000,000 birds to kill with a single stone.
And I would rather we didn't
What if
kill.
you hit a seagull and it falls into the water? Yeah, they have a problem, right?
Well, it's your own dumbass problem for throwing your rocket into the water.
What if we didn't kill any birds? They're not hurting anybody.
I think you're missing the point. Can we go to both the tower and the castle?
Yeah, so there's one on the way to the other.
Where is the tower, Wouter?
DM!
I am thoroughly searching
That was loud in my
Whether-
ear.
where it is on the map.
Alright, I'll look too.
It should be in the castle part.
Well, that bodes well.
Oh, that's kind of where we are.
Could be this one. Ah, there we go. Yeah, found it. It's still on the
Then I will stop looking.
GM overlay. No, it's not.
As will I.
It's right here.
Oh my gosh, that's labeled so well too.
Yeah. You mean that giant thing that says Blackstaff Tower?
Yes.
So
But
in
my
that-
defense, you guys do.
It wasn't.
No, I was helping you look. I definitely did not see it. Like, trust me, I'm not making fun of just you. I'm making fun of me too.
It was on the GM layer.
Oh,
I've got pretty much the entire map on the GM layer, and every time you guys get somewhere new or find something new, I'll open it up on the map. So your
Okay.
map keeps filling up as we go along.
Okay, so
So-
I figure
You
we're
guys have a sense
over
of the
here somewhere right now. We're
Yeah.
over here, so,
I guess you guys
nope.
were walking down on the high road down
Yeah.
towards Mount Waterdeep.
but if we want to go over to the tower, we can turn at Soldith Street, off the high road and just cut across. If you guys want to go there instead, we can just cut across down here.
Let's do that then.
No preference.
Makes sense.
I'll give you guys access to the actual party tracker. There you go.
Okay.
Now you guys can move yourself.
So yeah, we'd probably cut across Soldith Street and then head back up Sword Street.
Yeah, what if we pass that font of knowledge? I want to know what the font of knowledge is.
It's a temple.
Yeah. So the font of knowledge is a temple to Ogma. Which is the neutral greater power of bards. Nicole.
Good to know.
The
I
more
try-
you know.
Ogma is
I
the brother of Denier, right? I'm pretty sure.
Could be
Denier is
Yeah.
Catterley's god.
served by Denier and Milil.
Right, well, I would
Remains
make
of
a mental note.
knowledge.
Right. I would make a mental note of its location and continue on my way.
I have to make a mental note. It's right there.
Yeah, I know.
Just saying. I'm just saying. Still standing.
Okay. So I guess we walk over there.
Okay. So as you guys get to Blackstaff Tower, which is a pretty immense and daunting building, let's see if I can actually find a picture for Blackstaff Tower. It should be visible in chat. Okay, so Blackstaff Tower is a fortress and a wizard training academy. From there, the Blackstaff, the leader of Force Grey, watches over the city, and as you guys approach it, you get a message directly sent into your head. I am Varya Sahafar, the Blackstaff. Welcome to my tower. Come in, friends. And the doors in front of you open up.
Okay, did everybody else just hear that?
that's a bit ominous. Anybody else hear that?
Yes, I heard that as well.
Oh, good. Okay, I thought it was maybe.
Yep.
I thought it was maybe just me again.
No, and you're
Wait,
still
what? You
right.
again?
Well, like weird. I don't know. Weird stuff just keeps happening to me. I don't know.
Well, shall we trust this Varius and just waltz on in then?
Well, we do have questions for him, so we have no choice.
Oh, all right, we're coming in.
So
I think loudly.
as you step into Blackstaff Tower, you step into quite a large hallway, filled with all kinds of weird magical objects floating around, golden discs that displace themselves throughout the entire room. You see nearly a dozen of objects that seem to hold different worlds inside of them. Entire star systems doom up in front of you. There's a large red carpet leading up to a stairwell in the back of the tower. And on top of the stairwell stands a female figure, dark skin tones. And she looks like this. And with quite a open smile and face, comes down the stairwell, and in the same voice that you train, says, "Welcome."
Well, hello there.
Hi.
Hello. Was
We
that
have-
Eleanor?
Look
This-
at that. She actually has a black staff.
She does hold a black staff, yes.
Well spotted.
Yeah,
Master
I've
Dwarf,
great eye
show her
for
the
detail.
paperwork.
Sorry, come again.
Show her the ad that we are answering.
Yeah, I grabbed the piece of paper. And, well, we took this job from the Yawning Portal, and we're supposed to find him. But we don't actually know where to start looking for the monk.
Lamb. Yes. Yes, we've sent out that mission. I was hoping that the people who have, well, saved my friend show up. I see not all of you have showed up, but my dear friend Raina never told that he was saved by you. And
Oh, yeah, that was us. Well, me and her.
Yeah, us.
in
Did-
that case, I would like
Yeah,
to.
we pulled him from a burning building. I remember it clearly. I was there. She was there. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. He told me. I would like to extend an invitation to the two of you.
I'm sorry, an invitation. You broke up a little bit there.
I've got quite a raspy voice. We have
A
quite a
lot of
party with.
people. A lot of people in Waterdeep, they keep doing that though.
Which is kind of weird, since the people in Waterdeep just got a new glass fiber system in their house with Wi-Fi boosters. So, seeing as you guys managed to rescue Raynor, she extends you an invitation to join Force Grey.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Hjalder, sit up straight. No one can see your beautiful face.
He is erect.
Didn't need to know that.
Wow.
Well, Miss Blackstaff, or do you have any information on where to start looking for this monk?
If you climb the mountainside from the eastern way, there's a cave. It is quite a significant climb. A lot of people will not make it. but he is known to live there, or at least rumored to live there, in seclusion. He's not the most easy man to talk to.
I see. Many solitary monks where I come from are not the easiest to deal with.
I'm pretty good at talking to people who don't generally like talking to people. It's one of my skills.
I can fly, so.
People usually pay to listen to me, so.
Do they?
So, lady, I am very honored that you're proposing that I join Force Grey. I can understand why you would want such a magnificent dwarf, heeding no attention to everything else that's going on. But I have to say, I'm already a proud member of the splendid order of armorers, locksmith, and finesmith. So, as you can understand, I'd have to politely decline, since I can only pledge myself to one guild in Waterdeep. Oh, so you were saying something about a mountain.
I would possibly be interested. I'd love to have a little bit of time to consider your offer.
Sure. Find Lamb, retrieve his information, and if you're successful, maybe that would be a great start of your career in Force Grey.
Okay, well, thanks very much. Let's go climb a mountain to find Lamb.
Is there anything else you think we should know before we leave to find Clem?
Well, is there anything in particular that you need or require information on?
What kind of monk order is this monk?
We do not know. We only know his name.
How old or how long has this monk been here?
Again, we do not know. This information only reached us 2 days ago.
I see.
Ah. All right.
Well, we will do our best to find this monk for you.
Thank you.
Would you mind doing a favor and possibly relaying a message to Rainier?
Of course.
We were recently in the sewers, and a friend of a friend was being held captured, and it seems like they captured him because they thought he was Rainier. So, I would love it if you would just warn him to just watch his back. I think some people that are not so good are looking for him, and I wouldn't want anything to happen to him. He was such a nice man.
Done.
Thank you.
Right. Well.
Thank you for your time.
Is there anything else you needed to know?
I think that was it. Thank you for your information.
No problem.
Off to climb a mountain, then.
I think I have climbing stuff.
As mentioned before, I can kind of fly, so.
Well, sure, but do you want to go up there all by yourself?
I'm just saying I don't need to climb.
Okay. Yeah.
I like to think I'm agile.
I have some rope. Is there anything else we may need to climb this mountain?
Well, I figured we could go and get some climbing gear, like pythons and a hammer. Well, I have a hammer, but,
I have 10 pythons and a hammer. And rope.
Core. How the fuck are you flying at second
and Air Genasi can cast Levitate on themselves once.
There you go.
Not themselves. They can cast it once per long rest without material or something.
Yes, got it. Something.
Or I can wild
and
shape
stuff.
into a fucking bird. Oh wait, no, I
Nope.
can't. You're right.
That's why I was asking. I was like, no, are you getting your
That's the
wild shape
confusion.
wrong?
But wait, if he wild shapes into a bird
And
and
then
then
casts
uses levitate,
it would be the best workaround ever.
and then he could just soar.
Yes. Well, you can make the flappy movements to make it kind of real.
Just flappy.
Make the flappy movement.
You could be a flappy flap.
Thou have to flappeth.
So I figured using the pythons, we can climb the mountain.
Yes, let's go over there and see what the climb looks like. Maybe it's not as bad as we think.
Right.
She said that we should climb from the east.
Yes.
So let's walk along the eastern edge of the mountain and see if there's any.
Or
path.
fly.
From the reach-ish, perhaps? Where we get on the mountain.
Yeah, it looks like there's a trail that goes up to this housings on the rise, and then we can just follow the wall. Or no, follow the
Cliff?
the cliff side.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
And then
we follow her directions very astutely and then climb the mountain.
So wait, are we walking down and going up where it's in Fetlock Court, and then there's a path up, or are we going?
Yeah, there's
up
a
here where
there's
we're
a
up on
path.
oh, there's a
tower?
The
there's
rise-
a path right next to us.
Right next to
Goes
us.
up to the rise.
Yeah.
Right, but that's not technically the east. Oh.
No, but we just follow the cliffside down to the east.
To get to the east, right.
I wonder if it'd be easier though to walk down to that area first and then go up the mountain.
I think either way should work. Hopefully, we can spot a cave as we're making this trek.
Dum-ti-dum-ti-dum.
All right, so what does it look like climbing up that mountain?
Okay, so the actual mountain is extremely steep, and you reckon that even with your gear on, it will take quite a toll on you to get up there. So anybody climbing can roll me a Constitution saving throw.
First, do we spot any cave system? Like, do we? I don't want to just blindly climb up to just have to climb back down and try a new area.
You'd probably see a couple of different cave systems up there, some of which you reckon could be habitable.
Okay.
They're pretty close to each other.
So I think we're in the right direction. Shall I climb first?
And I have 10 pythons. And I think we all have rope, so
I'm just gonna float.
Well, I got an 18.
Right behind you with a 19.
Oh, shit. I rolled to myself, and it was a 21.
18 for me.
Well done, well done.
Pythons are for pussies. We're up there.
Oh, good, Grumac.
Oh, did you roll another 21? Nice.
Okay, so nobody under a 12, right?
No.
Not even close.
Good.
We're just straight up walking up the mountain.
Nobody gets exhaustion levels.
We're like
which is
power walking.
Okay, so from one of the caves, as you guys are climbing up there, you hear a faint voice singing a weird ass song.
Do I know the song?
No.
I'm sorry, I'm just going to pause for a minute because that was the absolute best description of anything Wouter's ever given us.
The weird ass song.
Sounds like a giant fart.
Is it in? Are there words? Or is it just like a tune?
It's a tune.
So it's not like in a language of some sort? No. Okay.
I start climbing.
Does it
towards
sound
the tube.
good? Or
No, not at all.
it does
sounds
not sound
horrible.
good. It sounds terrible. Okay.
You'd have to imagine something like.
I wonder, is
Kind
he...
of like it.
Do you think that they're performing the same act Eliana performed in that first bar when we met her?
I shoot Phoenix a very, very nasty glare as I plug my ears with my fingers.
Should I cast?
Don't pluck your ears, you'll fall off the mountain.
Should I cast Cure Wounds on Eliana for that burn?
Plug one ear. You know, you mess up one performance. Give me time. You haven't seen what I can really do, alright? I'm very good at what I do.
Now that Cagrin's gone, somebody's got to be the loser. The Jerry.
Well, considering on her 2
Right.
performance checks so far, she's rolled a natural 1 and an 8.
Yeah.
Shall we approach?
Does that sound
Please.
like monk music to you? I mean...
I could attempt to quietly approach and see if it's a monk inside.
Well, we might as well all stick together.
What was that, Nim?
I mean, he seems fairly distracted. You shouldn't have a hard time sneaking up on him while he's being that loud.
Well, then let's do it.
Well,
I
that's
will
not starting it, though.
quietly. I will quietly try to just approach the cave.
Okay. So as you are sneaking up, you can make me a stealth check.
Wait, is
I rolled a 6.
I was gonna say, is just Grumac sneaking up, or are we all sneaking up? I thought
I
Grumac
thought
was
he
gonna
was
sneak
just going,
ahead.
yeah.
Oh, if he's gonna sneak ahead, I didn't think we were gonna separate, but...
Well, that's what makes it ahead. It's not sneaking ahead if we all sneak ahead together. Then
Okay.
it's just sneaking.
Then just Grumac,
Okay.
who rolled a natural 20.
Like Phoenix.
That will be a
Phoenix
natural
tries-
20, yes.
Yeah, Phoenix tries to follow him, and we're all like, yeah.
We're like, no.
And then she trips.
God, no. I'm still... Wait, how long... Has it been 10 minutes yet?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
At some point going up the mountain, you pretty much just fell out of the sky.
Okay.
Oh, Nim, that's really amazing what you... Nim! Nim! Nim!
Alright.
Oh, shit. Oh, we lost one.
Okay, so moving up to the cavern, you see this old bald bloke pretty much dancing around in his weird ass grotto with not much possessions or anything right there except for a couple of bedrolls. He at first sight seems to be a very estranged hermit, but observing him a little bit closer, you recognize some moves out of the way of the Sacred Fist, which combines clerical magic and monk training. And since you are one of the few monastic orders, you would know that He is probably part of the Order of the Even-Handed, a small monastic group devoted to Tyr.
I will say, Master Hlam, is it you?
He is thoroughly scared. What? Who's there?
I bow respectfully. I do like a monk type fist, bow to him.
How do you know my name?
We were sent to find you, to ask a simple question.
Okay. What is it?
I have a few friends with me. With all due respect, may I bring them up to approach you?
I'd rather you not, but okay.
If it will offend you in any way, I will not, but they are very nice and kind, and would love to ask this question of you.
Okay.
I wave everyone to come up, like,
I climb up.
All right. I walk up the mountain.
Master Hlam, may I introduce you to Nim and Phoenix. This is Hjalder, and this is Eliana. My name is Grumak. A pleasure to meet you. And I'll bow to him once again.
Phoenix, seeing him bow, just thinks it's the thing to do, so she bows too.
Okay.
The older kind of stretches like, oh, I'm sorry.
Eliana just kind of waves her lyre.
Master Dwarf, do you have the paperwork with the question we need to ask?
Yeah, let me just grab it here. It says, ask him about the enemy. Well, so. I think that's it. Right? The paper said go to Clem and ask him about the enemy.
What he heard about threats to the city.
Oh, yeah, well, okay. Ask him about threats to the city.
He raises one of his old-ass eyebrows, looks Hjalder directly in the eye, and says, "It's none of your business!"
Well, we tried. Time to go.
Phoenix puts her hand in front of Hjalder, and then she walks up to him and says, "Please, we would really appreciate this information. You'd be helping a lot of people." Is there anything we can do to persuade you to help us?
No.
You want to, like, think
You know,
about
you're
that?
up here all alone, all by yourself. That must get pretty quiet. I mean, we heard your music as we were coming up, and I must say it was a very, very interesting tune.
Ah, yes. It is. It is. It is. It is.
It
It
is
is one of my favorites.
One of your favorites. So you've got other favorites. Anything else you'd care
I-
to show us, to let us listen to?
No, they're very secretive sounds.
Ah, I see. I see. Well, it must get pretty lonely up here.
No.
Master Hlam, I know you are a monk of a great order. Is it not the fate of the Order of Tyr to help protect?
Protect what?
If you can give us any information, it may do to protect the city.
He slowly makes his way up to you, leans over, and his expression turns extremely grim, almost threatening, to a point where you feel slightly unease somewhere deep in your gut. He whispers something in your ear, which I will send you. I will send that to you, Mark, on Skype.
Oh, good, Master Hilam. The program I do not have up at the moment.
Ah, great. And then I will turn to Discord and send it there. Because I am a Hilam of many systems.
You are very wise, thank you.
You could also try using Roll20. It's the system we have open on which we are playing the game.
Yes, however, if I copy sentences into a whisper, sometimes half the sentence comes in regular chat. But to fill the meantime, did you know that during your lifetime you'll eat about 60,000 pounds of food, which is the weight of around 6 elephants?
Good to know.
Well, I ate an elephant yesterday, so that sucks for the rest of my life, I guess.
Or did you know that every time you lick a stamp, you eat 1/10 of a calorie?
Who licks
I
stamps?
don't lick stamps anymore. Yeah.
They're all just like sticky now.
What's a
How
stamp?
did you think I got so fat?
Did you say what's a stamp?
Yeah, what's a stamp?
I've licked so many stamps.
Does Grumac know what he is talking about, or does he have any clue to what he
No,
could be
you
talking
have
about?
no clue. The only thing that you do know is that this is the moment where you will probably overstay your welcome.
I give him a stare back, just kind of like I lock eyes with him for a second, just kind of like give him the slightest nod, like okay, and then Gromac will look at the rest of the party and go, I think we should probably be going now.
Yeah, we weren't supposed to stay too long, were we?
Did you get the answer we were hoping for?
I got an answer. And I will bow to him one more time and start backing out of the cave.
Flem turns properly creepy as he sits down in complete silence and simply stares at you.
I will start playing my lyre just to break the silence as I back out of the cave.
Probably.
Georgie just turns around and walks out.
Yeah, Phoenix does the same.
When we get out of the cave, I will turn to the rest of the party and say, so, he told me evil's twin hides its face for now. Expect that to change before winter's end. Do any of you know what he could be talking about?
Spring. Winter's End.
Wait, could you repeat it again?
He said evil's twin hides its face for now. Expect that to change before winter's end.
Sounds bad.
Evil twin.
Evil's twin.
Like
Evil's
the twin of evil.
What's the twin of evil?
I don't know if I want to find out.
Is that something that makes sense to anyone at Waterdeep? Perhaps it'll make sense to the Blackstaff lady.
Yeah, let's hope. I feel like she's pretty well informed around here. Much more than me. I mean, I have things I hear, you know, growing up on the streets, but...
We have an answer. I mean, that's all we were supposed to get, right? So hopefully that will suffice. We don't necessarily need to understand the answer ourselves.
Well, that's true.
Let's head back and talk to Blackstaff. Perhaps this will be the answer she's looking for.
Side note, Wouter, what time of the year is it right now?
Summer.
Summer.
So I guess we head back down the mountain?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be coming down the mountain when we...
You can descend the
road
mountain
again?
quite safely.
Sweet. I guess let's head back to Blackstaff
To
Tower.
Blackstaff, yeah.
Okay. So upon reaching the tower, you once again meet Varja. Or Vira, is it even? Vira. And that might be the perfect moment, maybe, to stop for Core.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Before we get into any
Time-wise?
trouble.
Before we start combat! Ah!
Yeah, okay. Sweet.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Alright, bye guys.
Bye.
This is Yalder, and I'm gonna need you to pay for extra content.
I don't even know where you guys are anymore.
We're at Blackstaff.
We were talking to the woman,
All right,
Yeah.
she's out.
but you broke up, yeah.
Welcome. Welcome to the Blackstaff Tower.
Stop being Batman.
I'm Batman.
You're not Batman. You're Vajra.
I'm Blackstaff. Welcome to the Batcave.